Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is Miss Aisha Anwar from Biotic Academy. Hope you are good. Now today we are going to discuss about digestion in humans. As in my last video, we discussed about the importance of digestion and stages of digestion, physical digestion and chemical digestion. Today we are going to discuss about the stages of digestion in detail. Now the process of digestion basically starts with mouth. Mouth is an opening through which the food enters into the body, and then after entering through the mouth there is a cavity, buccal cavity, where teeth are present. There are 4 types of teeth in human, and these all teeth helps to grind the food, chew the food, grip the food, and break the food into many small pieces, and this stage is basically the stage of physical digestion. Along with the chewing action, there are glands which are present under the tongue, salivary glands, which start secreting a moistened chemical, that is saliva, which helps to lubricate the food. Along with the saliva, it also releases an enzyme amylase, which starts acting on the carbohydrate part of the food. So basically in the mouth, the digestion of carbohydrates begin. After the food has been thoroughly chewed and lubricated, it enters into the next part of the alimentary canal through a tube, through a opening, that is pharynx. The food is being swallowed through the pharynx, reaches towards the esophagus. Esophagus is a long tube which takes the food towards the stomach. There is no digestion takes place in esophagus. Now when the food reaches into the stomach, the stomach is basically a hollow bag, and the wall of the stomach is quite muscular, which helps to further break down the food into small pieces by the churning action. The wall of the stomach secretes enzymes. Along with the enzyme, it also secretes HCl, which acts on the food and kill any bacteria present into it. HCl also helps to activate the enzyme pepsin and act on the protein part of the food. In the stomach, food is stored and churned up and break it down to small pieces. Mucus is also being secreted by the wall of the stomach, which helps to protect the stomach wall and protect it from the action of the enzyme pepsin. Now food will stay here for a longer period of time, then it enter into the next part of the alimentary canal, that is the small intestine. The small intestine is basically divided into 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. When food enter into the first part of the small intestine, that is duodenum, here the duodenum will face a tube which is coming directly from the liver. Liver is present above that part of duodenum, and liver is the largest gland, and it is responsible to make a chemical that is bile, which aids in the process of digestion. Basically, bile helps to emulsify the fats, break the fats into small pieces. Along with the emulsification of the fats, liver produce bile, and that bile basically emulsify the fats and changes the pH of the food which is coming from the stomach with acidic pH, and change the pH to neutralize it and change it to the alkaline. Now liver produces bile and store it in the gallbladder, and gallbladder will secrete the secretion of liver, the bile, according to the need over here on the food. Along with the secretion of liver, there is another gland which is present in between, that is pancreas. Pancreas is going to release many enzymes for the further digestion of the food, like it will release amylase, lipase, protease. These are the enzymes, which trypsins, which will act on the food and break the food into simplified form to the level of monomers, that monomer level which can easily be absorbed into the blood and can reaches to the cell easily. So here basically the digestion of the food is completed to a, you can say, a large extent. Digestion has completed over here in the duodenum, and the food now enter into the next part of the small intestine, that is jejunum and ileum. Now in the jejunum and ileum, further digestion, or you can say the finishing touch to the process of digestion, is being given by the enzymes which are released by the wall of the small intestine, which will act on that component of the food which were left for the digestion in duodenum. So the wall of the small intestine will further release the enzyme like sucrase, peptidase, lipase, which will act on the leftover part of the food bolus and will digest it into the simpler form. Now, the food after the completion of digestion in the small intestine will start getting absorbed into a specialized structure which is called villi. Villi is a specialized structure that helps to absorb the food, take the food from the small intestine towards the liver. Towards the liver, it takes the food. Why it takes the food towards the liver? Because the liver is going to further detoxify the food, will convert the excess glucose in the form of glycogen and will further proceed the food. Now, the food after the digestion and absorption, it will enter into the next part of the alimentary canal, that is large intestine. Large intestine is the part which will receive that component of the food which were left undigested and they were not absorbed, so that food is basically a waste product. So the body will send it to the next part of the alimentary canal, that is large intestine, where the reabsorption of water and ions will take place, and in the large intestine the food will stay or hold for a small period of time, and then it will reach to the next part of the alimentary canal, that is rectum, where the food is going to store, and then it through an opening of anus it will go out of the body. Now, if we discuss about the structure of villi, as I told you that this structure is present in the small intestine, and that is basically this structure is one cell thick. So there are approximately, you can see, 4 to 5 million villi in the small intestine that increases the surface area for the absorption of the digested food. Such a big number of villi basically helps to absorb the food quickly and don't allow the food to go to the next part of large intestine without absorption. Now the structure of villi is like it's having epithelial cell, and then in the middle of the villi you will find that there is a, you can see over here, there is a tube like structure that is called lacteal. It's basically absorb the product of fats digestion, that is fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid and glycerol are absorbed in the lacteal, and glucose and amino acid will be absorbed in the blood vessels directly. Fats will not absorb into the blood vessels, rather than that it will absorb into the lacteal, and then after some process it will enter into the bloodstream. Now the whole process of digestion can be summarized over here, that gastrointestinal tract, from here the food will be taken or absorbed by the villi, and villi will take it to the liver through hepatic portal vein. Hepatic portal vein basically a vein which is having the blood which is rich in nutrients. And now in the liver the further processing of food will take place, like I told you that it will detoxify the food. If any toxin present over there, it will convert excess glucose into glycogen. The glucose which is not needed by the body will convert into the glycogen, and it will further do a process of deamination. Deamination is a process where excess protein is broken down and released from the body in the form of urea. So these are the important processes which are being done by the liver, and then after that those processes the liver will send that digested food along with the blood through hepatic vein towards the heart for the oxygenation, and liver will receive the oxygenated food rich in nutrients from the hepatic artery. Now this all process of digestion is being completed over here. We will discuss about the structure of the teeth, how this teeth aids in the process of digestion. As I told you that basically the digestion of the food starts in the mouth. The physical digestion of the food starts in the mouth by the action of the teeth. Now you can see over here the LS of the teeth. teeth is basically the part of the teeth you are observing over here. It's basically the LS of the teeth, and you can see the two portion over here. The part of the teeth which is exposed above the gums is called crown, and the part of the teeth that is under the gum is called root. Now, if you look at the structure of this teeth, you can find the layer, the white polish on the teeth, that is enamel, which is the hardest material. After enamel, and this hardest material basically helps to protect the teeth by the action of bacteria or the acid which basically bacteria produce on the surface of the teeth. This enamel helps to protect the teeth by the not allowing the bacteria to enter into the inside of the teeth. Now, after enamel, there is another layer, that is dentine. Dentine layer is basically a living layer which is having cytoplasmic extension over here, and it's a soft part of the teeth. After dentine, you can find a cavity, that is pulp cavity, which is having nerves and blood vessels into it. When the bacteria is getting in this part of the pulp, this part of the region, the person will start feeling pain if there is any infection caused by the bacteria, because this is the part of the teeth where the nerves are present, and these nerves will produce the sensation of pain about any infection caused by the bacteria. Now, these teeth are basically fixed, or you can say adjusted in the gums with a layer of cement produced by the dentine. You can see over here, that is cementum. Cementum helps the teeth to get fit in the gums, and it will retain the teeth in the gums. Along with the cementum, there are lateral canals which also helps to hold the teeth in the gums. Teeth are not totally fixed in the gums. They give a little bit flexibility. When we chew food, we can feel that the teeth are showing a little bit movement. So these are the structures which are basically you need to understand about the structure of the teeth. Now, here you can find 4 types of teeth which are found in the mouth of humans: incisor, canines, premolars, and molars. These are for the biting purpose, holding and chewing purpose, and for gripping the food. These are the 4 types of teeth. Basically, premolar and molars are concerned with the chewing action, and canines and incisor are involved in biting. I hope you have understood the concept which I discussed today. Keep watching Biotic Academy. This is Miss Aisha Anwar from Biotic Academy. Take care.